Today I'm reviewing one of the most anticipated releases of the entire year, and it's a pair of Crocs. What's up everybody, I'm Seth Fowler, and today I'm reviewing the recently released Salehe Bembury Pollex Crocs. So I just got this shoe in today, and I've got to say that pictures online do not do this shoe justice. This shoe is absolutely insane. So the Salehe Bembury Pollex Crocs first released on December 14th, 2021 for a retail price of $85. So the first two colorways to release were this colorway, the cucumber colorway, and also a sort of light tan colorway called the Cinnaminson colorway. Now I'm not sure exactly what Cinnaminson means, but I googled it, and I think it's some sort of a small fishing town in Massachusetts. I could be wrong about that, but that's just what came up when I googled it. And out of the two colorways, I think the Cinnaminson colorway was just a little bit more limited because it didn't release on Croc's website and released solely on Salehe Bembury's website. And while the cucumber colorway was a little bit less limited than the Cinnaminson colorway, although still pretty difficult to grab, I actually think this is my favorite of the two colorways because you really don't see a lot of cucumber colored or forest green colored shoes. And I really can't overstate how insane of a shoe this thing actually is. I mean, not only does it look insane in the best way possible, but while I was doing research on this shoe for this review, I decided to just check out how the shoe ranked on Google Trends against other popular sneaker releases, and it turns out that this shoe is one of the most popular sneaker/shoe releases of the entire year. I mean, I compared this shoe to recent Yeezy releases like the Beluga Reflectives, I compared it to shoes like the Air Jordan 1 Trophy Rooms, and if you look at the graph of how much this shoe was searched, it blows the other shoes out of the water. And it's just nuts to me how a pair of Crocs is one of the most searched shoes on Google for the entire year. I mean, a pair of Crocs. We're not talking Yeezys, we're not talking Air Jordans, we're talking Crocs. I mean, I've reviewed Crocs before. I've reviewed the standard Crocs, I've owned multiple pairs of Crocs, I've also reviewed the Post Malone Crocs, but none of those Crocs have had any kind of impact on footwear like this shoe. I mean, this shoe truly will go down as one of the biggest and most popular sneaker releases of the entire year. And I know I just call them sneakers, they're clogs, they're shoes, they're not sneakers, but I review sneakers for a living, so it's gonna happen in this review. You guys don't need to let me know in the comment section. I already know I screwed up. But let me give you some background on Salehe Bembury, the designer behind one of the most popular shoe releases of the entire year. So recently, Salehe Bembury is known for his prolific collaborations with a few different brands like New Balance and now with Crocs. But before that, and also probably during that, he was at Versace, Cole Haan, and even Yeezy Gap. So needless to say, he's a veteran in the footwear design world, and recently he's actually branched out and created his own brand. And I know I already mentioned his New Balance collaborations, but these are the shoes that got me into Salehe Bembury, like this 2002 R collab that came out, I believe, last year in this awesome orange suede with these nice yellow hits. There was also another one that he dropped at the beginning of this year, which was the Water Be the Guide colorway, which I think came in like an aqua green color, and then this nice tan on the toe. And not only did he collaborate with New Balance on these two shoes, but he also collaborated with them most recently on this pair of 574 yurts. So what I love about this shoe is not only the fact that this shoe is pretty much redesigned from the ground up, and I love the bulky, chunky aesthetic of this sneaker, but what's crazy about this shoe is the fact that this shoe actually features a whistle on the heel. I'm not even kidding, this is a legit whistle, check this out. It's crazy. It's this sort of out-of-the-box and innovative thinking that's propelled Salehe Bembury to where he is today as one of the most influential footwear designers out there. And so while it's kind of surprising that a pair of Crocs is one of the most influential shoes of the entire year, it's not surprising that the person behind this Croc was Salehe Bembury. And you guys know me, I love crazy and out there design, and this shoe is probably one of the craziest and most out there shoes it released all year, and because of that, this is one of my favorite sneaker releases of the entire year. See, I did it again, I called it a sneaker. It's a clog. But before we dive any deeper into the shoe itself, let's take a quick look at its retail packaging. And I've actually got to put the shoes back into the box because the box just doesn't look the same without the shoes in it. So while most pairs of Crocs come in bags or even KFC promotional packaging, I didn't realize I was going to open like that. There we go. What the Pollex Crocs come in is one of the coolest sneaker packaging designs that I've ever seen. I mean, because of the way that the packaging was done, it literally looks like the shoes are inset into the earth. It's a crazy, crazy look, and I absolutely love it. So most of the packaging comes in this recycled feeling cardboard, which I'm assuming was vacuum formed. And then on the top of the packaging, you've got this really cool sort of plastic cover, which comes off the top of the shoes like this and has the branding on it. And then when you pull off the plastic cover, you get to the shoes themselves. And man, pulling these out for the first time, was insane. I love the whole packaging experience. I love the shoes. I mean, I can't say enough good things about this collaboration. I think Salehe absolutely killed it. And then I forgot to mention, but on one side of the box, you've got the size tag. This is a size 9 men's. I'm a size 9, but these actually fit a size big. So if you're grabbing a pair of these, try to go a full size down. I can wear these, but I do have to double sock it, which isn't that big of a deal. But I will get more into sizing later. But now that we've got the packaging out of the way, let's get back into this crazy pair of clogs. So one of the things that blew my mind most about the Salehe Bembury Pollex Crocs is that this shoe is a completely redesigned shoe almost from the ground up. Salehe took the classic clog silhouette, which we all know and love, and turned it into something absolutely insane. I think just about every collaboration that Crocs has ever done has just been a different color or a different pattern on top of a pair of classic clogs, maybe with some different gibbets, but that's about it. I don't think they've really given anyone the creative freedom that they gave Salehe. And come to think of it, they had to open up brand new molds for a completely new silhouette for what is essentially a limited collaboration, which probably cost them a bunch of money. But honestly, I think it completely paid off because not only are they probably selling a bunch of these, and I know they're releasing more colorways of these, in particular the Urchin colorway, which I've got to say is absolutely fire. But like I said, this collaboration has created more hype for Crocs, a brand which traditionally has been pretty unhyped and consequently given Crocs some of the best marketing I think they've ever had. So while I'm sure it cost Crocs probably hundreds of thousands of dollars to cut brand new molds for this brand new silhouette, it was completely worth it. But while we're on the subject of this brand new silhouette, why don't we talk about the inspiration behind these crazy ridges. So as you may have been able to tell from the outsole of the shoe, the entire design and inspiration of this shoe is actually Salehe Bembury's fingerprint, which I actually think is one of the craziest ways to essentially sign your product. I mean, he literally left his mark, his fingerprint on this design. And actually, the Pollex Crocs is not the first time he's done something like this. If you look at his New Balance collaboration on the 2002 R, you'll notice a very similar motif on the heel. You know what? I wonder if the fingerprint actually lines up. I wonder if this is legitimately his fingerprint. I think it probably is. And you know what? I kind of feel like it matches up a little bit. I can't tell exactly, but it really wouldn't surprise me. So obviously the concept behind this shoe is incredible and so cool to work off of. And just the way the fingerprint kind of spreads out over the top of the sneaker and gives the top of the sneaker its texture and its form. I mean, really, it's just one of the craziest things I've ever seen. I know I keep gushing over this shoe, but genuinely, as a design nerd, as someone who went to college for product design, basically exactly this is like the kind of thing that you would do a case study on. This shoe is nuts. And I feel like this is one of those products that kind of transcends its category. Yes, it's an awesome pair of shoes, but it's also just an awesome product. But as far as materials go, I think the majority of the upper of this shoe is made up of Crocs' proprietary closed cell resin called Croslite. And I mean, if I was to compare this to another kind of material, it feels pretty similar to EVA, but a little bit stiffer with a little bit more structure. When you compare it to something like the Yeezy Foam Runners, this shoe is also made of a similar material, but it's a little bit softer, it's a little bit more squishy, and I actually feel like this shoe is a little bit more cushioned underfoot. But with that being said, this is not bad underfoot, and because it's a foam, it still feels great when you walk in it. In addition to the Croslite, on the toe of this sneaker, you have this piece of semi-translucent rubber that wraps up from the outsole onto the top of the toe, right over top of your big toe. And that rubber can actually be found on the high wear areas of this shoe, which I really like because most Crocs are just Croslite all the way through. This shoe has rubber on the forefoot and on the heel, where you're going to be getting a lot of heel drag and a lot of forefoot wear, and this will really prevent that and slow down the wear of the shoe, so you should be able to wear the shoe for longer, or at least have it last for longer. Also, just getting back to the form of this shoe must have been really interesting to design for a mold. I mean, you can see the part line running across what is essentially the midsole of the shoe, where the two actions of the mold kind of came apart. There was probably a third action in the footbed of the shoe that came out or something like that. I'm not exactly sure how they would have done this, but also the CAD modeler who designed this shoe, that guy deserves a raise because this shoe is almost sculptural. Like, designing this shoe in CAD must have been next level. He probably used a program like ZBrush where you can kind of just, sculpt it rather than something like SolidWorks where you had to cut it out. But tangent aside, this shoe was insane for so many different reasons and I just can't get over it. Moving up in the shoe, unlike regular Crocs, you don't have those circular perforations where you can put gibbets in the top of your shoe. This is not the kind of shoe I would put gibbets in anyway, but that being said, it still does have some perforations throughout, which actually allow for some breathability, which is really nice. And I love how these punch outs fit within the grooves of the sneaker. I think that's so unique and so crazy. Moving towards the inside of the shoe, you've got a pretty standard looking Crocs footbed. It seems like they kept that pretty much the same as a regular pair of Crocs. One of the only differences between this shoe and a standard clog that I could find are the Crocs and Salehe Bembury logo embossed into the heel. And actually, it also looks like they made the ankle cutouts of the shoe a little bit deeper than a standard pair of Crocs, but other than that, that's the only real difference that I noticed. But now let's get into sizing and fit of the Salehe Bembury Pollex Crocs. So, like most pairs of Crocs, the Salehe Bembury Pollex Crocs do fit a size big. In fact, if you're a size 9 like me, I would suggest going down to a size 8, If you're a size 11, go down to a size 10. It continues on like that. But even though the exterior of this Crocs clog looks so different from a standard Crocs clog, the interior is pretty similar and it fits the same way. So if you've worn Crocs before, just go with your standard Crocs size. However, as I always suggest, if you have the chance to try on a pair of these or any other pair of Crocs before you buy this pair, I definitely suggest doing that just to make sure you're grabbing the right size for you, especially if you're paying resale for this shoe, because the resale prices for this shoe are absolutely insane. Continuing back on this shoe, you get to one of the most iconic Croc elements on this sneaker, and that's the Croc Strap. Now, I said in my Crocs review that you can wear this strap forward if you want to just wear the shoe as a slipper, or if you want to go into X Games mode, you can flip it down to the back of the shoe, but it seems like for this particular sneaker, Salehe designed it specifically to have this strap worn in the back. And not only that, Salehe also completely redesigned the strap, so now it's got Velcro pull tabs which allow you to tighten the strap towards the back of your ankle if you need to, and then embossed on the back of the strap you've got the Crocs logo and the Salehe Bembury logo. Now, something else I found really cool about this collaboration is that unlike most collaborations where you can switch out the laces, because this shoe doesn't have laces, you can't switch them out. So instead, Salehe actually provides a different colored strap if you decide to switch out the strap on the back of the shoe. So on the cucumber colorway, Salehe actually gives you a tan strap. Although I love the color of this tan strap and I think it would provide a really nice contrast on the back of the shoe, there's something about the green on green that I just really like, so I probably will be leaving this strap on the shoe just as is. Then moving around to the heel of the shoe, you've got more of that fingerprint motif, and wrapping up onto the bottom half of the heel, you've got more of that semi-translucent rubber. Then finally moving to the bottom of the shoe, you get the best look at the fingerprint design. I absolutely love it. The materials on the bottom of the shoe are sort of a mix between the semi-translucent rubber and the Croslite. Like I mentioned before, the rubber is on the high wear areas of the shoe, and it should help make this shoe last longer, which I really appreciate. So overall, I think that the Salehe Bembury Pollex Crocs is one of the most interesting, different, and crazy shoe releases of the entire year, and possibly of the entire decade. I've never seen anything like this shoe. I absolutely love it, and it seems like most people love it as well because of the resale price, and also just the fact that this shoe is one of the most searched shoes of 2021. That's crazy. And while the resale price of this shoe is insane at the moment, hopefully when Salehe releases more colorways of this shoe, like the Urchin colorway, it should drop. Hopefully it will. I can't guarantee it, but if you haven't grabbed a pair of these, you should have another chance sometime in the near future. But now I would love to know your thoughts on the Salehe Bembury Pollex Crocs and whether you were able to grab a pair for yourself when they released on December 14th, or whether you're willing to pay resale for this shoe. So make sure to let me know in the comment section down below. And as always, thank you so much for watching. Make sure to subscribe if you haven't yet, and I'll see you all in the next one.